All right, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to Miss Goldie Robinson. Thank you for being the first one in this morning. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery driver, around town, over the road, long distance drivers. Shout out to my brother Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Please continue to go over to Troy's channel and support his channel and help that brother to grow. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Big up to you and shout out to you. Blessings to you and each and every one of you tuning in this morning. I was actually reading Pally Girl's comment that says, blessings, y'all. Blessings, Pally Girl. Thank you for being here this morning. Miss Goldie Robinson, thank you for being here again, the first one in this morning, and Jet Shelley right there as well. We have a couple of things we're going to talk about this morning. I hope everyone's been doing well over this holiday period. You know, you didn't see me on yesterday morning. There was no live. A lot of people contacted me. SouFlo, where's the live? What's going on? Right? I understand, but you know, it's the holidays. So usually on the holidays, I have all my children around, and I have a bag of children. So the house gets pretty busy, and you know, different things take precedence over doing this morning show. So it's a family thing. I didn't ditch you for no reason. All right, I'm being good. It's a family thing. Good morning to each and every one of you. But there I sip some mint tea. What's in my cup this morning? Mint. That's a tea bag with some mint. That's it. All right. I love the smell of mint in the morning. Wakes you up. Couple of topics we're going to talk about this morning now. There's a story that broke about Beenie Man, and I wanted to wait to get some more information on it. So Beenie Man, the self-professed king of dancehall, Beenie Man, Simma, Beenie Man. Beanie apparently got into some things overseas, which he is now denying and saying that none of that happened and it's not so. But I went to the African news, and the report was something about Beenie Man being arrested for flouting their COVID rules. In other words, not getting along with their COVID rules. The depths of that we're going to get into. He arrived, he tested positive. They ordered him to be quarantined. He did not quarantine. He went off on his own because he was with big bad powerful Stone Boy. Went off and did a slew of interviews and appeared at events and all these things. All that. So we're gonna talk about Beanie and Theme situation, plus what Beanie had to say about it, because the African news might be lying and his own account is worth something, right? And then we're going to talk a more serious topic now. I did a video yesterday that I put up on SouFLoTV about teen pregnancy, how it contributes to the socioeconomic breakdown of the country and all this other thing. But I did not know that the numbers were so staggering. So it's almost 60,000 births in the last decade, which is a 10-year period of almost 60,000 births by teenagers having babies. And we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about something else as well, which is the abortion rate in Jamaica. The abortion rate, it is estimated to be 22,000 abortions annually. And the experts say that that is a rough estimate because there are so many abortions that take place illegally. And then we're going to talk about the percentage of babies that are born with defects. How many of those were actually somebody trying to get rid of the baby and it didn't work by other measures? Because I don't think abortion is legal on the island of Jamaica. But you know, people want dash their belly, so they find ways. Drink some hot Guinness, my girl. Boil the Guinness and drink it hot like tea. Or, you know, all kind of measures they try. Jump off of something and land on your belly and whatever. So we're going to talk about that as well. But before I do that, sips my tea, Let me big up some people who are here this morning, and then we'll get into our topics. See? So again, Miss Goldie Robinson, good morning, SouFlo and the family. Up, 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 and thank you for being here. Jack Shelley says good morning as well. Caribbean Queen is in the building. Craig Bailey is here. Big up yourself, Craig Bailey. Rantan 14, Rattinam, Rattiname Forever. Boo, what a name. Denzel Gale is here. Sexy Body is in the building. Lenora Todd is in the building. London Boy is in the building. Big up yourself. DB is in the building. Andrea Humphrey is in the building. Says blessings, everyone. Delroy Stewart's in the building. Mr. Article Don, Mystic Lion, VB721 is here. Claudia Ferguson is here. Pally Girl, of course, is here. Bob Cosmic is in the building this morning. Bob Cosmic, big up yourself. Lady Merlina in the building. Anne-Marie Salomon is in the building this morning. And Tracy Champion. Nurse James, I hope all is well with you. Good morning from Jamaica, Westmoreland. Nurse James is in Jamaica, Westmoreland this morning. I wish I was. London Boy, big up yourself. Shamar Jackson, big up yourself. All right. Who I didn't call, you already know how it goes. It's still manners and respect. I just didn't get to your name this morning. See? All right. Which one do we start out with this morning? Want to start out with the Beenie Man one and get it out of the way? Or do you want to start out with the heavy stuff, which is the teen pregnancy and the abortion stuff? It's up to you. The audience choose and I go. Teen. Tracy Champion said teen. DB says Beenie Man. Teen, Beenie Man. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 teens and 1, 2, 3, 4 Beenie Man. Teen 5, teen 6, Beenie Man 6, 7, 8, 9, teen Beenie Man. It's a close tie. Let's go with Beenie. Let's go with the Beenie Man stuff first. Let's go with the all right, Teeny Beanie. Bob Cosmic says Teeny Beanie. Listen, it's good to start your day off with a laugh, okay? Because that might determine the rest of your day. If you get up and start off like Bullfrog, then that might determine the rest of your day as well, as and you might be mad for the most of the day. So let's start off with a laugh. Big up to Beenie Man anywhere you're at. I'm not putting anything into anything here. I'm gonna go strictly off of what's out there. Yes, I'm less intense. Yes, let's get to the less intense stuff first. Right, First Lady? All right. So I looked around everywhere. I found on Urban Island, Dancehall, a couple of places that carry these things where Beenie Man is saying none of this really happened. And basically, it's like, I don't know what people are talking about. So I went over to the African news outlets, and they all carry the same story, which says the same lines. All right, Beenie Man arrested in Ghana for evading COVID quarantine. Beenie Man arrested in Ghana for evading COVID quarantine. Beenie is saying that never happened. Ghanaian officials, and this is taken from, you can go read it for yourself. This is taken from Africa Feed, www.africafeed.com, africafeed.com. Ghanaian officials have reported to have confirmed that popular Jamaican dancehall artist Beenie Man was arrested for flouting their COVID-19 quarantine protocols. So they're saying he was arrested. The musician traveled to Ghana to perform at a number of concerts but tested positive for COVID-19 upon his arrival at the Kotoka International Airport. He was placed in quarantine by health officials. Now, before I go any further with this, let me say this. Why would all the media houses make this story up? Because this story is very detailed. It is detailing that he arrived in Ghana. And upon his arrival at the Kotoka International Airport, you know, when you reach, you got to get tested, whatever. He was placed in quarantine by health officials as he was required by the country's COVID-19 protocols. Beenie Man was, however, reported by local media to have evaded the quarantine in the capital. So them sent him go quarantine, but he didn't go. This is according to their news, all right, Africa Feed. he evaded the quarantine in the capital of Accra, and he appeared on several media outlets for interviews, all while being COVID positive. The artist went ahead to perform at the BIM concert organized by Ghanaian dancehall artist Stoneboy. I know y'all saw the headlines where Stoneboy said, big up to Beenie Man, the king of dancehall and he feels honored that Beenie Man names him the prince of dancehall. And a lot of people have a lot to say about that. Beenie, you used to be king. Somebody else is king now. Leg of the title. You can't call nobody prince when you're not the king. Blah, 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 whatever. So I'm over there enjoying life with Stoneboy. Stoneboy lives a celebrity life. And you know when they do it big in Africa, they do it big, right? The artist went ahead to perform at the BIM concert organized by Ghanaian dancehall artist Stoneboy. Ghanaian officials detained him again when he returned to the immigration officials at the airport to get his passport, because once you go to quarantine, they take your passport, right? They hold on to it. You're supposed to go quarantine. He went, did his rounds according to them without going into the quarantine. And when he came back to get his passport now is when he was held. He is also said to have procured this part, a fake clearance certificate to enable him to break the COVID-19 protocols. So he actually had paperwork done, which they're confirming or saying that they've confirmed that he was caught with the paperwork that says, I've tested positive, I'm visiting the country, I've tested positive, I've tested negative, I've been tested, and I tested negative for COVID-19. That way, he would be able to go about and do all these events. And yeah, I have my proof. See them get tested when I come in. Negative, man. Everything is ready to go. Pick that check up onto the next event. He is also said to have procured a fake clearance certificate, which enabled him to break the COVID-19 protocols. Security officials say that they are now investigating the issue further, and Ghana has been rolling out stricter COVID-19 protocols as it works hard on containing the spread of the Omicron virus infections. And that's how that article ended. Now, if you listen to what Beenie did have to say about that, now remember, I know Beenie Man just left, I think it was January, we covered that story as well, where he was found guilty in Jamaica in the courts of violating the DRMA, which is the Disaster Risk Management Act, which was put in place and ramped up around that time to so-called slow the spread of COVID. So there wasn't supposed to be any parties, were restricted and all this. And Beenie Man was promoting an event, then went and performed at the event, etc., and get caught for that. Something like that did go on. He ended up going to court in Jamaica, and he was charged $100 and something thousand, of which he had to pay, right? Now again, enough people were saying, okay, but how come I never charged that resort there that got caught or this, whatever. Beenie got caught. Supposedly, he pled guilty, he paid, and moved on with life. Here he is again now in the same kind of situation, but this time in Africa. I said before, Beenie Man's words mean something too, because I wasn't there. So I don't know. This is what Beenie has to say about it. First Lady said, if he tested positive and still out there up and down, mingling with people, that's inconsiderate. And you can see how this could be very dangerous for even me reporting it, right? So I have to make sure I hit the nail on the head exactly how it's being reported by these vetted media sources. Because I don't want nobody to say, yeah, man, SouFLo, dig it up and find the report answer, because that's what people do. They don't go do their own. That's why I show you my sources. And it's not just that one that's carrying it. If you just straight up Google Beenie Man arrested in Africa, you will see the media houses from Africa that come up first. Then you will see the Jamaica media houses come up under it, where Beenie Man is supposedly stating his, and he did it on social media, and they just took his social media stuff and reported on that. So, shout out to Urban Islands. Beenie Man reacts to reports that he was detained in Ghana after a positive test. Beenie Man has reacted to the report and that he was allegedly detained for flouting their COVID-19 protocol test. A news site in Ghana reported that the DJ who has been in the country over the last week, has performed at events in African nations or nation despite being known that he had tested positive and has been detained by Ghanaian authorities for the egregious act. A new article from Star Firm claiming that Beenie Man was tested positive, blah, blah, blah. The article claims that the girls, them Sugar DJ, was detained by police in Ghana. And it goes on to say that the sources have revealed that Beenie tested positive on his arrival, which I just wrote. I just gave you all that information. In Africa, they're saying he tested positive on his arrival. It's not like he was there and he tested good to come in. He did test positive as he got there. They ordered him into quarantine as he got there, took his passport even, and he went about his business anyways. And he had links, and the links were able to get him paperwork that says he's not positive. So he can't go do him thing. All right. Beenie has, however, had something to say. And Beenie left a comment that said something about, he said something about me. I'm looking for his piece because his words mean something. But he basically left on social media and said something about the first me I hear this are me confuse YF. YF means yuff. Me confuse yuff. He said. He also says he's fully vaccinated. I can't find him thing. I'm looking for it in the article, and I saw it there earlier, but I can't find it now. But I read it enough times to pick out the pieces. He said he is fully vaccinated. He's been traveling for the past 6 months. He's never had COVID. He never tested positive for COVID. And I'm confused, yo. Ghana is the nicest place in the world, the best place in the world, he said. And he also sent good vibrations out to Ghana. So I don't know if he's left Ghana now. But I saw a video of him linking up with, remember the party that we talked about where the woman them did have the party, back road kind of party the other day. I saw him linking up with her in a video. So that means either she fly to Africa or he's back in Jamaica. So he might have left Africa is what I'm saying. From the videos I've seen, it seems like he is not in Africa anymore. But he's saying Africa is the nicest place ever. And he didn't have anything to say other than I've never tested negative. I'm positive. Don't know where all this I come from. Me confused YF. So Combo Boss. Thank you, Shamar Jackson. I saw a video with him and Combo Boss, and them said Beenie Man the boss link up with Combo Boss. You know what go on now. You know, Combo Boss ventured off into the dancehall entertainment scene and supposed to be dropping new music soon, if it didn't drop already, and all this. You know, trying to capitalize off that 5 minutes of fame, stretch it into 5 hours. Can't blame anybody for that. Some people just believe they are above the law, Marco. Y'all give me a second there. Let me do this real quick. Do y'all think Beenie Man lying? You think he making this up now, like acting like nothing now never go on? Because I'm wondering what incentive would the African media have? What incentive would the African media have to be putting out this kind of information on him? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty damaging. And I'm sure they would be aware of lawsuits. And he's very capable of bringing a lawsuit against them because he has close ties to Africa. So, you know, you're not just landing in Africa, so you know, and everything work out for you. You have to have connections. Africa kind of run a different kind of way still. There's another video that I did this morning, but that video you will have to see on my other channel, which is Hot Topics TV on YouTube, where I do the Yankee stuff and nothing that has to do with Caribbean stuff. And it's actually about a IG model who was flown out to Africa to be on a interminglings with a African billionaire, and she ends up being found dead in her hotel room in Accra, Ghana. So that one you're gonna have to hear from the other channel. But you know, so boy, I don't know, but I hope it ain't true, is what Tracy Champion says. Take your toys, Papa. Go, mommy. I see you in a minute. All right. I was getting thrown off a bit there. Kai start getting loud with this thing. You know, me and Kai sleep. When I'm out here putting in the work late night thing, I just crash in another part of the house, and Kai's like that. He find me and he wanna sleep with his dad, so I enjoy that. But come morning when it's time to do morning thoughts, he wakes up when I wake up, and he wants to be right up under me. It's a blessing. Not complain. But to think about this though, if he did test positive and then just go off into the crowd like he didn't care, isn't that like careless and dangerous though? Uh, Kimmy Cat C says, why did they take his passport? I don't know. I guess it's a part of the procedure. Like, you come in, you test positive, they take your passport. I know in Jamaica, if you're leaving, you have to test and you have to show up. Say, for instance, you're traveling to the UK or to the US. You have to show up in the US with a negative test that you just took when you were leaving Jamaica, right? So I don't know if it's the same thing, because if you're about to board that plane leaving Jamaica and you test at the airport and you test positive, you're not leaving. You're going to quarantine. And I think they hold on to your paperwork so you don't run, maybe. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there, so I'm not reporting the story like I'm there. I'm telling you, this was in Jamaica news, Africa news, US news. So I might as well pick it up and speak about it. And I think I keep saying Brains. I think Shakira did the same video on her channel yesterday. I didn't watch her video because I didn't want my opinions to be swayed with her opinions or me repeating anything that she said, kind of thing. Come fresh with my own thoughts then, right? I'll go watch it after. Ghana have been giving out false positives for months, and they take you to a hotel, not hospital. It's a money grab. Talk Truth says. Wow. So what do you think happened, Talk Truth? You think they see him come in and they see, oh, big star, money. So they give him a false positive and then quarantine you, because you're quarantined at your own expense, right? You're quarantined at your own expense. So it could be. I heard people in Jamaica when I was there saying that. They were saying, yo, this is a money grab thing. Enough of them people are not positive. Them lock up the people because the hotel not getting enough people, and they're using a whole facility and it's at your own expense. I'm not accusing anybody because I don't want nobody to say, why did you do us like that? Or why did you say this about, how do you have proof that we're doing such? Why these accusations? But I've heard people say, is what I'm going to say, right? And there could possibly be, anytime there is a way for money to be made, look for corruption to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's just the normal. Anytime there is a way for money to be made, look for corruption to be there. I don't know if that's what happened in a Beenie Man case. I don't know if that's what's happening in Jamaica when they were positiving all these visitors and then quarantining them. I don't know. But I'm saying anytime there's a way for money to be made, look at the possibility of corruption as well. Because somebody will go on to money, right? Right. Without calling anybody's name or putting anybody in any false narrative. So, well, if it's true for me that Beanie did reach that and test positive, some people don't take this corona thing serious enough. Some people feel like that, let move on, go. My immune system strong. So me going there and them tell me about me positive, I'm going about my business same way, because I know I'm not going somewhere to die. It's probably a little sniffle cold and it will leave. Or I get a and two sneeze. But that's it. So I go about my business anyway. And they do. They really don't think. I've known people and I know people because I go at the same grocery store all the time. So I see the same people from the same community. Pretty large community here. It's 100 and something thousand people in this community where I live. And bordering this community is another 100 and something thousand people right there in the next city, right next to my city. So I've been in this area for a while. We go to the same stores. We see the same people. I've seen people from the beginning of this when everybody was afraid and some people lock up in them house. Have you ever seen the people driving in their cars with the mask on and they're the only one in the car, as if the car is going to suck it from outside somewhere in the air and bring it to them, and they're just scared. I've seen people from them time that till now that have never worn a mask, and they don't let their kids wear it either. They take them into the grocery store, into crowded areas. I'm talking about big super Walmart, where there could be a couple hundred people in there at any given time. Parking lot full every day. They take their babies in there, they take their small kids in there, they take their teenagers in there. They themselves go in there, they relax when they're shopping. I think I want wheat bread today. I think I'm gonna go with the potato bread, and they're on the aisle for a long time. We who are being cautious, we're like, even with our mask on, I feel paro. I feel like, okay, set time, go. 15 minutes, get in, get out, get everything you need. Let me see. Okay, this is on aisle 1, run to grab that. Aisle 2, run to grab that. When we were panicking, they were chilling. And a lot of them are still good, so you can't tell them nothing because they haven't been affected by it directly. So they really believe that it's a hoax and it's a fake and it's really not real, you know? So, I don't know. But the Beenie Man case, I'm not even going to speak further on it. I'm just saying it's irresponsible if that's what it was. If that's what it was. Okay? Same thing that happened in Jamaica with him, where he ended up paying the $100 and something thousand, and his relationship with what's her name? Crystal Tomlinson ended. People were saying, yo, she can't take that. Because look at the position that she plays, look at who she is, right? Her stature, status, who she is. And then she'll have this dancehall DJ that lives above the law or thinks he lives above the law and all that. It's like we have to cut ties, yeah. So, but I don't know if that have nothing to do with the man relationship breaking up either. I'm just saying, right? And there he is again, same problem now in the Africa, but he's saying him not knowing nothing about none of that. I'm confused. Me confused, yep. Well, Beenie, if you confused, me confused to brother. We're gonna left it right there. So he's confused, I'm confused. I wasn't there, he was, right? But that's how I go. Not like they can do anything to him now. Bar him from coming back, maybe. How did he get out of the country if he is out of the country? They gave him back his passport after he did not quarantine. Did they test him again before they sent him back? You know, Beenie said he's been traveling for the last 6 months and he's fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. So Beenie Man wasn't one of the people that did an ad that said, go get your vaccine, guys. You know, at the time when they were looking for celebrities to endorse it. I remember I told y'all, I said, when the certain time comes, just look at who is flying out versus who is not flying out. The US has now made it mandatory. So if you see them fly out, you already know. Them fully juked up and ready to go, right? And but Beenie is the first time he actually said it out his face. I don't know if any other dancehall artists. I know. I think quite a few of them actually. Quite a few of them. But yeah, this is the first time I've heard him actually say it. Fully vaxxed up. I mean, fully vaxxed up and still positive. I mean, we know that it doesn't stop you from being positive. It just, as they say, makes your effects not as severe. So you might end up needing a ventilator or going into something serious. You can fight it and overcome it versus those who haven't been vaxxed. If them get it is a different story. That might end up a hospital, right? Fully vaccinated does not mean you cannot be infected. Correct. And that's what I just said, Kaz Robinson. You're correct. For the ones who don't like when I say Kigo. Just felt like irritating somebody this morning. All right. So leave people business alone. Leave people, but I don't feel here what when it reach public, seeing it's public business. It's not, when it's on the front page of newspapers worldwide, it's no longer for people business. It's everybody business. So you know some people are say, yo, dog, you chat like girl and in the gossip thing, I'm gonna leave people business alone. It's all right. Everybody business that. That's not people business. Now, if somebody did tell me under quiet, yo, you know, Sabine, but tell nobody, you know, and then me come out, come do this, that would be different. All right. So we just had the front page news stuff. Hey, SouFlo and family, good morning. Good morning, Lorraine Blair Baker. Thank you for being here. There's videos of them saying it stopped the spread. It's on the video. It's out and everybody business. Yeah, everybody business. Everybody business. Let's talk about this teen pregnancy and abortion stuff. So I did the video yesterday about the teen pregnancy. First, I'm gonna talk about the teen pregnancy, then I'm gonna talk about the abortions. Because it's not teens alone doing the abortions. A big woman and dash with multiple bellies. Hey, your body, do what the hell you want to do with it. I'm not one of them, I'm a man. So I never came here to tell a woman what to do with our body, but I'm just saying, like, I read an article. Is it the Star? A lady was on the front of the article and she calls her baby a miracle baby because as she was getting ready to have a hysterectomy, she discovered that she was pregnant. And she had been trying to get pregnant for a long time. You know, one of those stories. So she gave up on being pregnant and thought that that was just her role in life. She would never have a baby. All right. Went to the doctor, thought it was something else. Turns out she's pregnant. This is her miracle baby. So I think of all the people who actually really want a baby and can't have a baby. And they're career driven, goal oriented, financially stable, ready, and can't get one. And then you have people like, oh, I'm pregnant again, dash it away. Oh, I'm pregnant again, dash it away. Oh, I'm pregnant again, dash it. Yeah, man, about 4 abortions, I'm gone now still. And they still are able to get pregnant. Like, you know, so anyway, the abortion thing we're going to talk about last, but let's talk about the teen pregnancy stuff first. Studies done shows, and this is information that I took. If you watch the video from yesterday, all my sources are there. This is from official government information, right? 60,000, almost 60,000. The precise number was given in the video I did yesterday, but I felt like this needs to be more than one of the topics where I just talk behind the scenes and let pictures show. Maybe you want to come talk face to face, you know, and give people a chance to say what they had to say as well, face to face. So the number was like actually 59,500 and something. You know, so they're saying it's almost 60,000. Almost 60,000 babies born from teenage moms. Some as low as 11 years old. 60,000 in 10 years. 60, 10. 60,000 in 10 years. It's like the murder rate don't. 100 or something people murdered in 1 month, and you're like, what the? 1 month only have 30 days, right? 60,000 in 10-year period. Adolescents, teenage girls, as low as 11, having babies. This is out of Jamaica alone. So now the argument comes up where it's an extended argument where people are saying, listen, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is what is damaging the society. Watch this. And this argument could be very valid. It is very valid. Imagine being a grandmother at 31. Imagine being great-grand at 45. And it happens a lot. Mommy got pregnant when she was 15. She was a teenage mom. Her daughter repeated the cycle and became pregnant as she was 15, 16 as well. Now you have a grandmother that's 30 and a mother that's 15, 16, 31, 15, 16. For our mother, the first one, that's exactly what happened to her. You know, back in the day, things were different, whatever, but she also was a teenage mom. So you have 3 generations of teenage moms. And you have a great-grandmother that's 45. That's mind-boggling to think about. You have a great-grandmother that's 45. You have a grandmother that's 31. And you have a mother that's 15, 16. Now remember, the age of consent is 16. Telling these 16-year-olds that it's okay, go and go take body. It's okay. Go and go fling you something any which part you want to put it. You have a right now. But the thing is, that's all they have is that right that you gave them. I mean, they're going to do it anyways, but don't make it legal on paper, because then there are no repercussions for the grown-ass people that are wrapping up with these youngins. You know what I'm saying? The other part of the study showed that a lot of these girls are getting pregnant by their peers, yes, but majority of them are by men that are older than 21. That's exactly what it says in the article. Majority of them are by men that are older than 21. 59,500 and something, almost 60,000. Majority of them are older than 21 that are getting these young girls pregnant. But you put it in law that she was at the age of consent when she was 16. So the only ones they can look for is who breed like a 14-year-old. All right, because she not reached 16 yet. So we're gonna look for that man now. They're not telling because they don't want their fathers, their child's father to go to jail, or maybe they're under stress, duress, and threats, right? So they're not telling them can't find the man them. The other part of the study says majority of these women are left on their own, or these girls are left on their own to raise these children. Because either one, them can't reveal who it is. Two, man gone about in business. Three, the man probably already have a family established somewhere else. You had a little side thing on your breed. Or there's just so many dynamics to it. Or is a young youth just like yourself, and he feels like he might sow him wild oats as well. He's in the gallus culture. Man, if you have enough gal and gal in a bungle. Man, if you have enough gal and gal in a bungle. Gal from Rima, gal from jungle. I be the man that, So if y'all going to go off of talking about how the music contributes to or celebrates a certain type of lifestyle, when we talk about like crime and dysfunction, y'all for fling out and man for fling it everywhere and have whole heap of gal, it's always been in our culture. It's always been in our culture. Some people will even say that's the African thing in us. That we can't have one woman and we should be polygamous versus monogamous. But the baby them though. Good morning, you're live on the air with SouFlo.
Good morning, SouFlo. How are you?
I'm good, family. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
All right.
I had to call because I'm very emotional about this topic. Because Jamaica is a male-dominated culture.
Correct.
And women and girls are not protected. Okay. And that's why I believe they don't want to put the age of consent to 18 because I think, as you said it before, a lot of men in parliament themselves have them side woman or a girl who is 16, who is 17, and they like young girls. And this is something that's been happening in the culture for a very, very long time.
Yes.
That's a big problem. Teen pregnancy is the death of any society because when you have a teenager, one we know cannot raise a child, one we know does not have the sense of logic that it takes the brain to fully develop at the age of 24.
Correct.
And they cannot, it damages the culture because they cannot even pass on cultural traditions. They're not old enough to know certain things. You know what I'm saying? To even pass on to the next generation. Even when I can tell you, for the most part, honestly, even when you go in the Black community here, a lot of time you can look at two different children and you can tell which one have parents fully formed and which one don't have parents who are fully formed, just on their mannerisms, their behavior, the way they carry themselves, the way they act, everything.
Facts.
There's certain things that you will see kids on the bus, they're chewing with their mouth open, they sit a certain way. You know, you're growing up. You want to say, sit with your back straight. Don't hang down your lip.
Close your leg like a girl.
Close your legs, yeah. You know what I'm saying? These are not things teenagers think about. You know, they just put clothes on them, they put food in their belly, and that's it. They're little nuances, these little details that our grandmothers think of it. Our parents who are fully formed, they think about these things because they have logic and they have reason and they have wisdom. You know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. Even here in America, that has been the, I would say, when it comes to crime and when it comes to the degradation of a culture, I would have to say, as women or girls, it's between our legs. It starts with us. And they say a nation cannot rise any higher than its women or its girls, right?
Facts.
So if I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't want to.
No, I just said facts. You're preaching. I'm just listening.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it was the other day I heard a man say, and I'm gonna try to record what he said. He said, as a culture, as black people, he's from here. He said, our men suffer from arrested development. Our women suffer from lack of humility. And our children suffer from lack of identity. That is a killer. So Jamaica, as I said, it's unfortunate. I feel like Jamaica doesn't have a government because the other day I saw Cheng Artel, whatever his name is, he's there sleeping in Parliament. I mean, it's just
the Minister of National Security in a security briefing.
He's there just sleeping. Yeah, that's sleeping on the job, and that's the state. That's the state of defense in Jamaica. Him sleeping on the job is just a prime example of what's going on and why it's allowed to go on. Jamaica is falling into like Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah kind of era. And if this, especially with the teen pregnancy, is not really dealt with, education, and raising the limits of the sex and all the sex in the music. Honestly, a lot of the reggae music, the dancehall music, I can't even listen to. I'm tired of cocky and pom pom every 5 minutes. Think about something else. My God. Everybody is cookie and purple. We know this already. You know, when we were growing up, yeah, the girls talked about that, but it was innuendo. They talk about your Julie Mango, and and we sang these songs and we didn't know what they were talking about until we were fully formed adults. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what we were talking about, because it wasn't so pronounced. Everything is so vulgar.
True.
It's disgusting. And these kind of things rub off. We have to remember we live in a society with children. Everybody want to be free and do what they want, but these things come with consequences. On the minds of young people, you steal their innocence. And then you have a culture where you allow young girls to be sexualized. So then they're gonna breed before they even know what breeding is. They're gonna have kids they can't contain, they can't control. And when that kid grow up, he's gonna knock you over the head, right? And we're gonna say, what? Somebody does way another one again. They're gonna grow up to be criminal, a lot of them. Because that's where the criminal element is largely coming from. It's not predominantly coming from a 2-parent home with parents who are fully formed and they've reached a good education. Yeah, you have some of them too. But we have to change our mindset as a people with the culture. We have to start outlaw all this music, this holding crutches, pom pom. I mean, it's disgusting at this point, honestly. It really is. And I want to call back about the abortion when you get to an abortion conversation. But that's the part I wanted to say.
All right. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well laid out. Well laid out. Now, as far as y'all know her by now, right? As far as the other part of this conversation, I saw somebody said how many of these babies are born into wedlock, and the answer is none. How many of these are will be gunmen, or how many of these will be people who crush out weed in them hand middle all day, like the brother calling the other day to defend those who crush out weed in them hand middle. I'm not just saying that. When I say that, I mean somebody who that is all they do, other than getting involved in illegal activities. There was a part in the article that talked about the level of violence when crimes are committed. Crimes have always been around. Crimes have always been in Jamaica. Shootings are going a long time now, more than 2 decades now. So we can't keep acting like we're surprised. But for those of you who are past 20 years old, you remember, compared to today, it's more violent than ever before. Man just walk out in the middle of the road, where crowded place, enough people there, and execute a pregnant woman in the middle of the street. Just happened the other day, right? the kind of disregard for life and the grotesque way in which they kill. He's saying, this expert in the article said that this is a result of that, because just like she just said, when these young mothers who are not fully developed, therefore they don't have the nurturing that is required. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell the kid, move from there, so go around there, so. You don't hear myself, stop crying, top and eyes. Whereas a mother who is fully formed and developed would be like, come here, baby, why are you crying? Or why you keep saying that? Or why you this, or why you that? And explain things to them and communicate with them in a way that teaches them to communicate with others in a loving manner, in a respectful manner, kind of thing. That part of a teenage mom is missing because she's a teenager. And then there's resentment, right? Heavy resentment. Like my whole childhood is gone now. Cause all of my teenage friends them now gone a party, them do this, them do that. And here I am stuck with a child. And this kind of thing. Worse, them gonna get pregnant again. So they don't really have the know-how, right? And then if they're coming from a mother who also had them as a teen, it's the same kind of thing that they learned from her that they're going to teach to their child. They didn't have time to go out into the world and experience different, to even develop to know different. So when them know, them a pass on. Now you got to understand. Think about this logically. The average 30-year-old is deeply entrenched in, say, dancehall music and dancehall culture. Them love the skin out apartheid. Them love the gun song. Them love all of that, right? So we're talking about 30. Now we're talking about a grandmother here, you know. Cause remember, she was a teenage mom. At 30, 31, she now has a 15-year-old who's pregnant. What else can she teach her child? At that age, you're probably just finding yourself. And then she teaches her children that. So when that the 15-year-old they have picked, you know, what can that child teach that new child that's coming up now? Other than all the guanins we are going and the hype that's hyping and that type of stuff. So they're not really more into mature talks, right? Because they're not fully formed. So it's a cycle, and the cycle goes round and round. In the article, the expert said majority of these young youths are the ones that actually make up that the grotesque killings that we see. Join gangs real early, crush out weed in a hand, make up on a roadside, don't want to go work for nobody, claim they are entrepreneurs. Somebody put it the other day and said unchoppreneurs. Chop mean you're chopping. Chopping CHOP is an unchoppreneur that, because he's not gonna work for nobody. He wants him own business, but he's gonna have his own business, even if his own business is being a hitman. Yeah, me go kill people for money. Take a small thing and, you know, kill and collect and then smoke and forget. That's how we do it over here, so daddy. And them kind of thing there. And that's the mentality. See? So it contributes greatly. It contributes greatly to the decay and the degrading of Jamaica as a whole, as its society. Now, enough people are saying, well, I heard somebody say, at least, when say, the pum pum never get work around here. That means a baby must come. And society set limits on when children, woman supposed to have baby. But we must remember that that's what women's bodies were created to do. I thought to myself, wow, as a grown man, you said that? Yes, that's what a woman's body was created to do. A woman's body, not a little girl body. There's all kinds of complications that go with having a baby at such a young age. Risks and complications and long-lasting effects, right? But to see that somebody actually, and the person may go look at the video from yesterday, because I left all the comments them there. It's still there. I thought about reasoning with the person, but then I was like, you know, like, wow, as a grown man, you said that. You said that. The sad part in that article, it says they don't know where to run, because when they look at who is doing it, doctors, lawyers, no, they never said doctor, lawyer, them say police officer, pastor, school teachers, police officers, and pastors is the three that they put in there: school teachers, police officers, and pastors. And then he said, yeah, man, the pastor thing, I have some stories I can tell you, you see. And I'm like, wow. Married men for sure. Police. School teacher. Imagine you send your like a 13-year-old daughter go to school and teach a breeder at 13, at 14. Police. Soldier. They put soldier in there. Soldier, police, teacher, and pastor. Soldier, police, school teacher, and pastor. Those are the four. I'm not looking at the article now because I did the video yesterday, but I was trying to remember the professions that they had put in there. Soldier, police, school teachers, and pastors. And that's in the part of the article where they said that majority of the men that are impregnating these teens are working men that have jobs, still not contributing to the teen, to the child in most cases. They go away about their business and leave her to handle that on her own in most cases. Now this gets sticky, because I've seen situations where, say for instance, a girl get pregnant, right? 15, have her baby by 16, then she's left alone. Here comes another person who say, yeah man, you and your one child, me to help you take care of the youth because I care for you so much, right? What ends up happening is she's in another 1-year relationship. She breeds for her next man now. Now she have 2 kids by 2 different men, and the second daddy gone as well. And it go on, and it go on, and it goes on, and it goes on, right? That's just real. It happens. It happens. We can't believe that the man them from grass to grow, ball for roll. What the hell is going on in these streets? Taxi drop people. I didn't want nobody call up my name and talk about me out there watch kiddie porn and them something there. But me, I tell you, I go through some porn sites already, right? My big man talk me thing. I go through some porn sites already and run across something where said Jamaican schools. I guess I'm gonna send pervert searching now. Who never know this already? Out of curiosity, me click on the thing cause our big body woman my thing did there, and me go click on the thing. See, when me click on it, I had to get that thing off my computer as fast as ever, boy, because I was like, whoa, police are coming on my door. Because I'm not in Jamaica watching this. But it is legally online out there. Boy, drawing the little schoolers and set up him little camera in the taxi. In the taxi. And pull up around a banana walk and beat it viciously. I mean, I said, face can show everything, I'm talking about countless of these videos are out there. Countless. It's like a whole industry to itself out there. Then I walk home from school and just draw for a bandal building. I see one with 6 of them, 8 of them in there. Girl and boy. And them a switch partner and do everything like them. Like them I watch too much horn. They picnic them. I see and I try imitate all a gang bang and one of them swingers party there or something. In them school uniform. So for those of you who don't know how exposed this is and how deep this is, if you're just putting your foot in this water, then you might be like, damn, really? Wow, are you serious? But trust me, a couple of years now, I discovered this and I said it on SouFLoTV as soon as I discovered it. This in one of the videos gone by. As soon as I discovered it. I was actually trying to make Jamaican parents aware. Like, go on the internet and search, because you're not going to find no other way. Search and see if your daughter or your son pop up in any of them video here. That's probably the only way you're going to find out. I see two I come from school one day and cause me go through them because I had to make sure they were real. I want to hear them talking. I want to hear, okay, damn, that's a real Jamaican accent. I mean, I was trying to fool myself to say, nah, this some bad acting or this can't be real. This see a group of them I come from school and girl drop a banana tree and hold on hug on the banana tree so I'm fling up our school dress. And my boy, I bridging them. I dear him. And he like him gone. School. So, yes, molestation is a big part of this. Because when picnic broke out after they've been violated, and some of them go all the way the wrong way, become extremely promiscuous, and start doing things just like, again, remember the one person we called away and she said, hey, you know, of course I became promiscuous at a young age because my own family members was doing it to me, so, and it was damn disgusting. So how about I gain some control of myself and give myself to somebody who me actually want give myself to. So I say a man who me like or a youth who me like, I give him some and them kind of something. So I became promiscuous. That's how she explained it. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, it starts somewhere. Picking just broke out and bad just so. Picking just broke out and bad just so. It's a series of events that lead to that. Right? Crazy thing about this is, can't tell enough of them nothing once them reach 16. For those of you who are old like me, we're not old, we're not children anymore. But those of you remember how embarrassing it was for a family, for a girl to breed at school age back in the day? I remember them used to carry the youth, the girl, go out of the community, send her go somewhere else to go live, and these kind of things. I remember when people used to bawl like say somebody are dead when them find out. Mother band her belly and bawl like she lost a child. It used to be taboo as hell. When it happened, the family would react like them sure knows that somebody obey the family and it's working. That kind of stuff. It was something to be looked on as disgraceful. Well, times changed. And for quite some time now, we've been accepting. Remember my skirt analogy? When the skirt did start out down at the ankle, and then we used to say, yeah, something man for cover up, and then a group came along and said, stop telling them what to do. It hot out here. All right, them cut it down at the knee. That's still acceptable. Let's go on with our skirt. Then the next group come and say, no skirt on my knee. A granny skirt that can go. Granny me see with a skirt on her knee. More skirt a little bit up, more shorter, so I can show some thighs and some sexiness. And then the next group jump in and say, leave her alone. It's the woman right to be as sexy as she wants to be. So we accept a little bit more, and then the skirt gets shorter and shorter till one day we look around and no skirt never did it. Accept till we end up out that door naked with 2 nipple covers and a V something for yourself, and that's it. 2 battle jar clapping in the wind. Outer road, right? So we went from all the way cover up, accepting. It's the same thing with the pregnancy thing. We went accepting, little by little until it's almost celebrated now. You breed when you're in a school. They even make breeding pact with each other. Me and my bestie breed the same time. I will have baby the same time. Yeah, it used to be shameful before. But once we changed how we look at it and started making them feel that it was okay and we're going to celebrate and all this, then and by rightfully there's a female who she came in the article and she said she don't want the females to feel like this is the end of the road, and we ourselves have to balance this argument, you know, because we can't talk about it like it is the end of the road and give no hope to a teen who's actually going through this now. Because if we are the doom and gloom of it, then we're not doing anything to help the situation. You know what I'm saying? So we have to balance the argument by letting them know that this is not the end of the road. So they did interview some females. One of them was top girl in our school and everything like that. And she got pregnant right in the middle of all that in high school. She still went ahead and finished her school. And she was basically telling them that don't stop. No matter what you do, don't stop. The best time to finish school is right now when you're still in it, when you're young. No take no time off, no nothing. And she pushed through. However, she did say that in a lot of the cases, the girls that end up having, because there was one there that was 19 and she had 4 already. At 19, you're a mother of 4 already. See, she said what ends up happening with most of them is parents are so against it that when it happens, the parents shun them, throw them out, withdraw all help and support from them, so they're afraid right there. Can't go no further. Then, of course, man, I say, all right, come stay over here, so yeah, forget the parents here. Me and you come, I gotta make sure so you're all right and everything. And I mean, she's already a teen and she's vulnerable, and now she has a baby growing inside of her, or she have a baby already now, and you know she get fling out now and all these things. So what ends up happening next? Abuse comes along with everything else that comes with it, and she breed again, and next thing she have a next one, and you know, instead of the parents could have been like, yo, this ain't what we wanted for you. This is not what we wanted for you. Honestly, as my daughter looking in your face telling you that this is shameful, I'm not going to tell my grandchild that I'm ashamed of you. I'm telling you that I am ashamed of what you've done, because we had so much more for you planned before you get to the having the baby stage. All right, it's done already. The baby is here. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to help you as much as I can. When we're around the house, not do nothing, I will, you know, play my role and help you out that you can still somewhat have a life, but it has to be focused on getting an education now, because now you have a child to take care of. Instead of just fling them out into the world and them helpless, and next thing you know, them breed again. Because them a catch over so and so yard, and them a catch over so and so yard, and before you know it, she's 19 and a mother of 4. 15, 16 and a mother of 1. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure that's not what your parents wanted for you, but it's not the end of the world. There's light at the end of that tunnel, especially if they're getting help. 19 and a mother of 4. If you're not dead, don't dash it to a but it's gonna be extremely hard to pull yourself up out of that, especially with no support, right? So a real talk, share a real talk, and we have to balance the argument like that as well. Flo, we gotta blame the young fathers too, because it takes two. Yes, there was a lecturer in the article who said that I guess some video of him preparing the boys for at a boys' school for exams that was coming up, and the language he was using, people were more focused on the language than what he was saying. So in this article, he was saying, you know, that's why I was talking. That's why you see me going like that on the video. That's why I was talking to the youth them like that, because he said on the video, "On no need for tie piece of something pound or something and put it where, tuck it where. It's not something for you fling everywhere. It's something for you hold responsibly, handle it responsibly, and share it responsibly, and something." And people let us about he was talking in a way that's not of a becoming of someone of his stature or whatever. But the man I said, me have to talk to them real. I have to talk to them real. He was trying to get them to focus on their exams and not focus on front. And he used the word front. So somebody left a comment that's saying, yeah, just the fact that he said front can show you how much respect women get from them. I may have to say, hello, stop. Because y'all always majoring in minor. Of all the things that man just said to that, you think them youth want to hear your prissy talk all the time? Of all the things them that you said that you could have said about what was said, you are concerned that he used the word front. Him use the word front because that the youth them are used to each other. I get some front dog from Keisha. And them I tell yourself, no worry about front right now. Because front come with a whole heap of responsibilities. You are going to end up make picnic that's going to suffer. Is that what you want? Right? The fathers, them, many are young, just like the girls. Don't have nothing to go on. So what you have here is young people who probably are educated on relations and the possibilities of what can happen, etc. If you put this into that, then boom, that comes, and this, that. They probably know all that already, yes, but take into consideration all the other factors. Poverty within their household, And listen, people blame government for poverty, but here's a perfect example of us creating poverty and handing down poverty for generations to come. So the persons who say, yes, we can't be outdone by other races as we're going to be wiped off the face of the earth. We need our women to produce and to multiply. Hello, you're making babies for prisons. That's not good. If that's the case, you might as well not make any, because I don't want to be counted in that number, right? If we're going to build leaders and we're going to build people that are better than us in our tomorrow, isn't it supposed to be about us building a better tomorrow for future generations, really? Because our time limited enough, so will theirs. But if we pass this teaching on, then somewhere down the line in the future, we will no longer be people's footstool. We will have built and have accomplished stuff. But we're not going to get there by creating low-grade people over and over and over and handing down poverty over and over and over. You know what I mean? So that's what I look at it as. You just creating more poverty. You're actually handing poverty down. Then you talk about government need to create training programs and jobs. And mama was 15. She a grandmother now at 31, and her 15-year-old just breathed. Cycle continues over and over and over. They don't have no time to, like, your mama didn't even have no time to raise you to make sure you went to full fruition of what you could have been. And here you are doing the same thing again. And I bet say your picnic probably is going to do the same thing again if they don't break that cycle. How many generations of that? What grade of people is that? If we're all here just to breed and just say, yeah, breed them because that them body designed for, to come out and do what? Suffer? Because you're not leading anywhere. People get hyped off the one stories here and there. Oh, baby abandoned in garbage can 20 years ago, passes the bar and is instated as a lawyer today. How many of them that happened to? Not many. So most of those who are coming from that type of stuff are going to suffer. Period. Period. Until they can fight their way up out of it. Hope they could fight their way up out of it. Right? It's crazy. It's a crazy cycle, and I don't see I don't see why anybody would see anything beneficial in it. In it. There's so many heads to this. This is spearheaded by molestation, man. This is spearheaded by molestation. Majority of these girls are having babies for people who are not supposed to be touching them in the first place. And for some reason that goes over a lot of people's head. Like, how? How? That big ass number, 59,500, that's almost 60,000 in a 10-year period in a decade. That's all molestation. All of it. So if we want a track record of how deep it is and how much that's going on, and I don't care if the girl come over there and tell about it was okay, and she'll come give some front and all that. Ninja, she 14. You coerced her into it. And it's not hard to coerce somebody who is not fully developed in the frontal lobe space. It's not hard. Most of them man are big man, them know if you con the world already. You've been lying since you were little, so you're a professional at lying now. You've been manipulative since you were little, so now you are a master manipulator. It's not hard. That's all this is. This is coercion and molestation. And we act like, oh, teenage pregnancy. God, it's such an alarming number. You mean rape or molestation? What an alarming number. And all these babies are just coming in into frigged up situations because they'll never have the stability of, oh, mommy yelled at me, so I'm going to run to my dad. Dad out back, drinking, smoking, playing a game, doing whatever. He's here though, so I'm not going to run, so I go to daddy. Ah, come here, I want to you. And somebody for balance it. right? They'll never have the privilege of any of those things. They'll never have the privilege of a two-parent household, two parents who act like they love them, so they know what it feels like to be loved by a mom and a dad, and to see a mom and a dad love each other. You know that that alone creates a kind of armor for a child, for when a child is able to see the mom and the dad living, loving with each other. It makes them feel like they're really protected. You know that, right? It makes them feel like they're really protected. That's why people say sometimes, yo, I don't know. If y'all in the house beating and stabbing up each other with kids in the houses, might as well y'all just part. Because having a hellish household with children in it, even the children them start praying that you part ways. Just so I could feel okay to come home after school in the evening. I remember one particular person on an interview, and he was saying, I'm that kid. I used to, like, when the school bell rang and it was time to go home, I would walk as slow as I could. I would kick every rock I could find. I would just drag myself home because I know that my parents were there going at each other again. And it was hell in my house. I'm like, well, couldn't they just damn break up already and go? But if you have two good parents whose focus is a child that they created, now, first of all, that's love. You plan your child is here. Well, whether you plan or not, because enough come with no planning, even though that's a messed up way to make babies, I think, personally. But you plan your child, stick to the script, right? Take care of that child. Honor that. It's a human life. It's not a toy. Oh, we're gonna buy it. We're gonna go half and half on the carrier. Or we're gonna go half and half on this apartment. Or we're gonna go half and half on this. It's a person. It's a person. So when you have two parents that whose focused goals is always on the children, those children are gonna flourish, man. They're gonna flourish, and that's what everybody wants for their children is to flourish. The sad thing is, a lot of people say it, but they don't really mean it. Say it because it sounds good, but they don't really mean it. When you mean it, you got to put the work in, right? You have to stop that cycle there. And you have to make sure these babies are raised right. Okay, girl make mistakes. She breed 15, 16. She catch her lessons. She never do it again. That's what the girl said in the article. The one that's trying to tell them, give them hope, and tell them that this is not the end of the road. That's the first thing she said. She said, I got pregnant at 16 and I didn't want any more and I didn't have any more. Made sure I didn't have any more. Never stopped getting my education either. And now she's doing well. I think she is a full ride scholarship to some university. She's now slated to start in. So she's still young and she's still doing it. But she's making a positive out of it. Not the end of the road. But I know. Teen pregnancy. Raise the age of consent, first of all. It's a big issue. I know y'all think it's not, but it's a big issue. I'm telling about the video I see already. The tourist man them fly down, meet the girl on the beach, filming all along with their little secret cameras, took her up in the hotel room. And she young and she want the couple hundred US dollars that they were given. Now when we do the combo bar story, you don't understand how far the money stretch. Because if them round us saw the combo and the combo come out to $36 and something cents, you can imagine when they're approached with a couple hundred US dollars. $36 and some cents. And them do all kind of something to her in there. And then she walk out like it's all good. So raise that age of consent. I told y'all before, people fly in just for that. So I think your tourism industry is just booming. It's a lot of things. I'm come for the good ganja, I'm come for the underage sex, I'm come for all of that. All of that. And you're right next door to those who consume it the most. Right? Raise that age of consent and you'll see something different. And I don't know if it starts there But it also starts with us breaking the cycle, man. Your mother breed young and had you young. Don't do it. Period. Right? Period. Your parents are supposed to teach you, and they do. Even if they don't raise you, they taught you a lesson. The daddy that wasn't there, he taught you never to be that way to your children. Don't create children that will have to experience what you experienced not growing up with him. A good functioning daddy. Same thing for the youth, them who mother abuse them. And don't go beat other women because you're resentful because your mama made you that way because she was all frigged up and she was a teenage mom too when she had you. Look at it as an example of the type of woman to never put yourself with and the type of woman to never be if you're a woman to your own children, kind of thing. So either way you're getting taught a lesson is just what you choose to use, what you choose to follow, right? And at some point we have to stop blaming just government, because we ourselves have to take responsibility as a people for our actions. You have people that take them responsibility, buck them to a couple of times, them learn, they move forward, they get better in life, and they can look back and tell stories and share and help others. And then you have those who just are stuck in it. Like them can't come out of it and they blame everybody else in the universe except for themselves. We gotta change all that. Now the next part I wanted to talk about was the abortion. Because the number there was staggering to me. Staggering to me. Now, on a quick search, you could say, is abortion legal in Jamaica? Right? And can Jamaica could finally decriminalize abortion? Was an article that was from done by Vice. You know, Vice do all these big videos. Is it legal there? As far as I know, it's not legal there. As far as I know, it's not legal there. So if somebody knows different, please tell me. Did they change it? Is it legal but only illegal if it's a rape or what? Now, with that said, what ends up happening is the article that I was reading, the article clearly said that those who have money and clout, those are the people who can readily get an abortion if they need one. And those who don't have money, they have to try all the backdoor measures. But apparently, there's no qualms about trying the backdoor measures. I actually remember an article where a lady said that this is how she's made her living for decades now. She's known as the right person to come to. Cause yeah man, cause when me do my thing, everything flush out clean, and no side effects really, I get sick and them kind of something there. And she's very proud of what she does. So she is a backdoor doctor, really. Bush doctor woman. And her number goes around through the underground. Yo, Stacy, say, boy, breathe me. Because that's how they sound, right? Stacy, say, me I breathe right and I don't want the baby. And Stacy say, yeah, man, me have a lady. You sure you don't want it? Because my lady don't miss it up. No, me don't want it, Stacy. I'm not ready for this. All right, see the number here for Miss So-and-so. A number you call her, and she'll take care of that for you. And that's how she's made her living over the years, because it's not legal. So here's an article from Jamaica Gleaner. Millions of illegal abortion. Taxpayers fork out 1.4 million annually for thousands of abortion complications. Poorest families suffer the most. This is what the Capri study finds. Now, we're going to talk about the complications as well, because some of these children, and I'm getting to find out that it's a large percentage of these children that you see born messed up. They're born messed up because mommy was trying to abort them and it didn't work out. Yes, SW247X says this sounds like the dark ages, and to hell it does. It does. In modern days and times like this. You see me, let me say this first before anything else. I am for abortion. Plain and simple. First, And here's the reason why. There are situations where I would not permit, or I don't feel like it's okay to bring that child forth. I've actually heard men say, make it illegal straight across the board. And people say, well, damn, what if the girl got raped? So you're expecting this raped woman or this raped teenage girl to bring that baby to full and then have that baby full term and have this baby a rape baby that will remind her every day of the traumatic event that took place that produced this child, and you leave her no out whatsoever. Yes, well, she can give it up for abortion. God doesn't like it, and if God didn't want it, would have never made that happen in the first place. I know the situation might seem like something you can't understand, but you know, everybody have their different angles of reasoning and whatever. So I try to listen to people when they reason, but rotted. Make walking cemetery. You have a graveyard in your womb. All you need to do is sleep with a gravestone over your bedhead. How one woman can have 4 or 5 abortions. And that's what we're going to talk about. All right. So this says that some 22,000 pregnancies are aborted annually in Jamaica. And this is only a rough estimate from research that is done by the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, otherwise known as CAPRI, which believes that the figures for the clandestine criminal acts could be more. The data further revealed that Jamaican taxpayers fork out approximately 1.4 million US dollars each year to fund the country's healthcare system's struggle with complications that are caused from unsafe abortions island-wide. The study was dubbed Coming to Terms: The Cost of Unequal Access to Safe Abortion in Jamaica, will be officially launched this Thursday, and it's the largest twig in a bonfire debate over whether Jamaica's abortion laws should be amended to provide safer legal options, especially for the island's poorest women. There are no official figures for the number of abortions conducted in Jamaica each year, as most of these abortions are actually done backdoor style. The estimates vary between 10 and 37% of all these pregnancies annually are aborted backdoor style. Given that up to 43% of the complications in early, now listen to this, given that up to 43%, 43 is almost 50, given that up to 43% of all the complications in early pregnancy may be due to attempted termination of the pregnancy. The cost of the Jamaican public health system is large, it said, adding that social stigma, psychological trauma, and home instability that often rise from the criminal practice are not reflected in these numbers. So it's like, again, a youngin gets raped. I believe in abortion. I'm not gonna put that upon no young girl about you must carry that to full term and all that other stuff. She need abortion and she need counseling for as far as the eyes can see towards the future to come. Right? That's in my mind. But there are big women who are very irresponsible. Take off your condom, me want you raw. Me not feel nothing. And then there's a man who's saying that too. But I cannot feel nothing still enough. John, no, I want to go in that summer. She said, go on, no, take it off, no. Boom, she breathe. Fling her body gay, workless man. Knowing he's a workless man. Boom, she breathe. John, no, I'm breathe for the workless boy. But you knew he was workless before you breathe. So now you have to go seek abortion, and this is not your first one. Because you breathe for one next workless boy, one next time. Or for somebody husband, or for whatever the case may be, right? Somebody you can't, you don't want to bring the baby out because you're going to be too embarrassed when they find out who fathered the child. And I'm not talking about the rape ones, them. I'm talking about the ones who are just careless and living careless. They contribute largely to this number. Seeing 3, 2, 3, 4 abortions, 5 abortions. Yo, man, I watched a video the other day, and the girl in the dance, I forgot what the video was. It was a dance video. The selector said, I think it was a Foota hype video, where Foota did was it Foota? Somebody. They were giving away money for the girl who can tell the truth about how many of these abortions she had. One girl took the whole of the money. She said she had 8 so far. Yeah, I'm not afraid to talk. 8 so far. 8, baby, 8 abortions she have. 8 illegal abortions. So she not care if she dead or what, or she have the number to that lady that I'm talking about. My woman no missing up. But do the maths to that. In addition to costs related to treatment of complications, disability or death due to abortion-related complications incur indirect costs to households and to society, and these may transfer through generation. The study also noted, which Capri Executive Director Dr. Damian King later told this newspaper, which is the Jamaica Gleaner, was reflective of dozens of interviews conducted around the island or across the island. These costs are largely borne by Jamaica's poorest and most vulnerable women and their families. Women from their higher socioeconomic qualities, they are able to readily access safe abortions. Yeah, because them go to them private doctor, which is their family doctor, and Dr. King is gonna sort them out, and they come from this prominent family or this, that, and the other. But those who don't have that, they have to go boil some hot guineas and mix wherever somebody tell them to mix in it and try drink it while it's boiling and all kind of foolishness. And boy, when I'm too sure to work, like 99% or 95% accurate still. And she thinks, well, that's a chance I'm willing to take. Babe 23 Walls says free birth control would be better option. And I don't know if they have that available there. Because don't they have stuff that you can put in your arm or stuff that you can put inside and it lasts for like years and them can't get pregnant unless they get it taken out, right? Aldane Walker says, after your womb damage to the point where you can no longer have kids and get old and no man want you, you will wish you had keep every one of these kids to keep company in your lonely years. And enough people don't look that far in life. Enough people don't look that far in life. There's been stories of people who have had 4, 5, and 6, and then when it came time, because all a woman has to do is reinvent herself and move to a different place, and she's a whole new girl who's never done anything in her life, just innocent and always been with mommy, and and some man jump on her and take, oh, wifey material and thing, and he'll never know, and now she in love and in real relationship with real man. The man want a picnic till like how dry peas want water or desert want water and can't get one from her. So these things happen, right? So you fling out, fling out, fling out until you're so damaged you can't carry one. But some are so blessed. I don't even know if it's a blessing, but some are so blessed that them do 5, 6, 7, 8 of them and still end up having to. Some of them drop them in between the abortions. Like I just dash one, boom, me I carry that one here. Next one, me I dash it to it. Boom, them get a next one. Next one, me I dash it to it. Boom, them get a next one. Some people just have what I'm saying, want it, can't get it, and get it, no want it. Remember that? So it's free. DB said it's free. The rape teen have enough time to take the 3rd contraceptive. I did believe in abortion, period. The rape teen have enough time to take the 3-day contraceptive. You're talking about the after pill. Them think they are new technology still. SouFLo, if I love your reasoning one more time, your nice wife going to beat me. Girl talk. Big up yourself. But that's true me a talk, right? That's true me a talk. So, I mean, some of them dash well 7, 8, 9, and then Them still get blessed enough to have more. So I don't know. But anyhow, among those seeking abortion in the underworld are many teenagers and young adults who are dogged by concerns about poverty, the disruption of education or employment, the desire to provide for existing children, and in cases where expecting mothers are confused with no support from their unborn child's father. Still, others are seeking abortion because of family preferences the finding has outlined. So your family not ready for your breed yet, or them definitely don't want you have a baby with SouFLo because SouFLo is an excrement and these kind of things, and you got breed for SouFLo, so you have to go dash it away. Or just so many different things. Me have two already, me can't take one more, and these kind of them dash with the third one there. Or him is the type for not help me support the baby, so me I got dash for that one, yeah. But some of these are things that are avoidable, like you already know. And I'm not blaming, I'm just saying you already know in most cases. Why make it Godesso? And for those who do it repeatedly, why go through that repeatedly? Doesn't it do something to your body? Somebody said the music. Henley Gordon says the music, the music, the music, the music. Listen to the music. It is influential. Mm. This is deeper than the music here, man. The music is influential, yes, but this is deeper than the music. We can't blame music. This is way deeper than the music because a lot of the things that they're talking in the music is actually stuff that's happening around them. So them have something to talk about. The life influences the music just as much as the music is imitating life. So them a see what going around them and then them talk about it. Me see gal dash out enough. So enough of me song them when me write about gal with dash out enough. And how we get gal easy. And how we trick gal and dash them way. And how we do because that's happening and that's how me see my brethren them are doing. That is what I do too, kind of thing. So can't really blame the music per se. For me, the music is like a diary. What was going on in our society in 2020, 2021? Listen to the music. 20 years from now, what was going on in 2020, 2021? Listen to the music from that time period. You'll probably be able to be like, okay, so enough people did that dead. Crime did turn up. Everybody was a gunman. Whole heap shots fired. Let's go see how many people got killed that here. Oh, damn. So that's the music there. Yeah. Enough girl did a fling out. Many illegitimate children. Whole heap of jacket was getting stitched. Full suit too. Yeah, them used to get out the pants and the vest and everything with it. Look at the yep, see that? So to me, the music kind of like document the times, kind of tell us what going on in our time period. So I don't really want to say blame the music still. In my job, I see these young women every day, and I work in a clinic, Roxy Hall. Young ladies that want things, some of them. Somebody said the other day that this is poverty and this is all caused by poverty. And like I said earlier, listen, we create this poverty. Some of us, as you can see the cycle, how I explained it to you. You create the poverty and you hand down the poverty. So the poverty continues and continues. Nobody never says stop. Not doing this. Go in the opposite route. Don't care how hard it is. You kept going with it. So it keeps going, right? You create that poverty there for yourself. For yourself. Abstinence. In abstinence? We have to be more realistic because ain't nobody abstinence in these days. All the church sister when she rock, when she hallelujah and for her hat down off her head so and she shake more than anybody else. She round somewhere with her mouth full of hot backers. Yeah man, cause we see the video them all the time, don't? We see the video all the time. I'm talking about abstinence and self-control and even policeman up on the side of the road. I take him ice cream lickings and these things. So we see the videos all the time. Abstinence ain't working, especially in our culture. Ain't nobody abstinent. Sneaky, but not abstinent. That's like saying I want to live in a society where there's no crime. No violence. Sounds good. Abstinence. If my daughter ever come to me as a teenager and said, Dad, I think I'm ready, or she go tell her mother, because she probably wouldn't want to tell me. I don't know any girl that's a teenager that would feel comfortable telling their dad that. I would hope that her mom don't just tell her about abstinence, because you know what that means. As she go on like say this, so she want go come. Slap in one of them thing in your arm. You can't breathe for the next 10 years. Now go get all the stuff that you're supposed to get. Right? If you're concerned about your health, let's take it out. But the consequences of certain actions, you're going to have to live with. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, we live in a modern times, man, so we have to use all these things that are available to us, right, to help us. And stop thinking so much about, oh, and it'll go kill you. And there are plenty of young women out there that are not breeding as teenagers. You can be one of them too. There are plenty of grown women out there who aren't having 3, 4, 5 abortions. You can be one of them too. It's a choice thing. It's a choice thing. Just make up your mind so you're not going to live your life a certain way and stand on your damn square. That's it. That's it. You know, we have reached a point in society where we actually make excuses for people who want to live foul. We make excuses for them who want to live foul. And when they carry on this foul way of living, we make more excuses for them why we should accept them or give them a pass or something. It's really, literally that simple. Decide that you're not going to live this way and stand on your damn square. That's it. Free IUD, birth control is free of cost to women. See, Deb Lane is saying birth control is free of cost to women. I wouldn't go as far as to say that unless I actually looked it up. So, again, is birth control free in Jamaica? I'm telling you now, just like we are this is the information highway we're surfing on, okay? So nobody in today's world should have been like, oh, I know nothing about. Live on the air?
Hi, SouFLo, it's me again.
All right, I know. Come on, you're welcome, more than welcome.
Yes, I called back because that's what I was going to call back.
Right, thank you.
So, for me, honestly, I hate abortion, but I understand it. Do I hate it? I hate it. I hate it. In certain circumstances, I understand it. But the people who are using it as a form of birth control, that we can't do that. That's a problem.
Isn't that damaging them though?
It damages their, yes, it does. It physically damages their body. Some women are not able to have children. It scars the uterus. Right. It can damage their cervix, right? And it can kill you. You know, I know a woman who almost died at the hospital in the States. You know,
and some women have died from these illegal abortions, backdoor abortions.
Absolutely. I think Jamaica needs to have a campaign. And this is why I say almost, it's like Puerto Rico don't have no government. That's why I keep saying that. Because, I mean, these are basics.
Right.
Campaign island-wide. Condoms, birth control, you can get the shot, whatever it is. In the most extreme of circumstances, they can reserve that for incest and rape for the abortion and so forth. We don't want an 8-year-old giving birth, right? And you said earlier that there was a man talking about woman's body is made for that. Yeah, woman, when you have a little girl who don't have hips and her organs are still, that's what we call it puberty. Right. Because your organs are still getting strong, they're still developing. The hips then don't form yet. And there was been a problem it was high in Ethiopia where they had child marriage, where you had children marrying men. And you have these young girls getting pregnant. They would have something called fistula.
And they would leak forever.
They would leak forever.
Well, I saw that documentary.
Yes. Yeah. And there was a campaign of doctors who came in to help fix it because the body is not ready. It's like you're force ripening a fruit. Right. And it don't taste sweet because it's not ready. Right. That's how the body is. So little girl body not ready for that. Same thing. Even the tape body, little girl body not ready for that because even the length of her cervix, the length of her uterus is not long enough. So when I don't need to get graphic, but when
Right.
I need men to understand that when a little girl, God forbid, is raped, it's worse than a woman because the length of your penis and the length of her uterus is not the same. So you're pushing through, you're tearing through her body. It's not like having sex with a little girl. You are tearing through her body. You're tearing into the cervix. And even as a grown woman, if somebody was to stick their finger all the way into your cervix, you would scream in pain. There's a when a woman is giving birth, that's the only time the cervix opens because there's a hormone that goes toward that part of the body that shifts your hips to make the cervix open. So you're tearing through a little girl's body when you rape her. It's the worst form of torture you can do to somebody. That aside,
damn.
Back to your abortion talk. We have to bring back shame to the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I am lucky. I told you before, I was born in the U.S. I was raised here. Okay.
Oh.
I have parents who are in their mid-70s, country people, old school people. Okay. Just look at me and just say that's inappropriate. That was enough. I was raised. Sometimes the shame was a killer, but I was raised with in a culture and in a community, in a Caribbean community, where shame was a thing. You're right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where is that you don't do certain things. You don't carry yourself a certain way. There's certain things you don't do. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing. We have to bring that back to the culture. There's no shame.
No shame.
And as Black people globally, we are on the bottom. Okay? When we look at us as a people outside of Africa, Africa have their issues, but we especially have some other stuff going on. We're a hot mess.
Right.
We are. We're a hot mess. And a people who are continuously aborting their babies, you can't be blessed. You can't. It's not possible. Because even if you want to take Christianity out of it, just talking about universal law is not possible. To be blessed as a people, and you're killing your young on a regular basis. So we have to think about that too. So as long as we continue certain behaviors, we will stay in the condition that we are in as a people. So we have to change that mindset, or we're always going to be at the bottom. And as long as we have teenage girl breeding and man breeding and everybody just breed and carry on, it's almost like we're gonna go from being humans to being like a wild animal. Because each generation gets further and further away, gets weaker and weaker, less morals. That's why the young killers are the worst. The young killers are the most merciless because they're young, they don't have wisdom, they don't think things through, they don't have logic, they don't balance things. They just young and emotional and just raw.
That's exactly what the doctor said.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's why they like the young killers, because the young killers, they're young, they're quick, they're merciless, and they do the job, and that's it. Versus an older person might think, well, is a pregnant woman. They might pause a minute.
Right.
Oh, that's a little girl, that's a baby, and they might pause. A little child is not going to pause. They're just going to do what needs to be done.
Right.
So if we don't change, we're done as a people, period. There's not going to be no more talking. There's not going to be no more conference. There's not going to be, I don't want to hear about no more church, because the church itself is a hot mess and need help. The church in Jamaica is a hot mess and need help. They themselves need deliverance.
Big time.
So they're in no position to put no crosses on nobody because they themselves need help. If we don't get ourselves together as a people, we are finished. So we have some decisions to make. Because yes, we are God's original people. When the Jews said that they're God's people chosen, the Native Americans said they're the first. We are the original. We are the blueprint. And if we continue in this condition, God don't like ugly. We already know what He can do. So we gotta fix it, or we're just gonna keep going down the drain.
Beatings. Facts.
That's it.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Facts. I mean, you're dashing away over 22,000 per year. 1 year of 365 days. 1 year of 12 months. I don't know. I'm not even a good mathematician, but I think of things in maths. When I simple maths, I can handle myself. But I'm thinking of the days and the months it takes to make a year and how we reach 22,000 in a 1 year. Damn. Somebody do the maths for me and see what the average daily dash away would be in order for us to end up with 22,000 at 1 year. And then expect blessings. You notice she said, even if you take religion out of it, right? Just universal laws and karma. 22,000 lives, souls that were heading this way. You just cut them short, dash them way. 1,833 per day. Girl Talk, thank you so much for doing that math. Golly! Wow! That's a damn slaughter. Fallon Carrington did the math and got the same number, 1,832 per, or 833 per day. Wow! Omega Dreads Gaming Channel says Jesus forgave, but he didn't say how long the forgiveness would withstand his father's wrath. Blows and skirt, boy, that 22,000 per year, you know. And they estimate that's a rough estimate, reminding you that there are way more that are being done behind the scenes that they're unable to document. We are disobedient, so we're suffering for that. I already said this before, right? And I'm gonna say it again like this. Our disunity and disloyalty towards our own is what has us in the conditions that we're in. And once we can fix that and get to unity, then a lot of other things would be fixed along the way with that. But for the simple fact that we can't even unite as a people based on one thing that we all have in common, we're going to suffer for it. And we are suffering for it as a people. Some of us might find ourselves being successful in life and like we can separate ourselves when we feel like it and feel like, but you're still a part of the collective though. You're too thirsty. You're still a part of the collective, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, one and two successful and move away, but you're still a part of the collective. So because anywhere you go, they're still gonna look at you as you are part of that group. 60 a day? Jesus Christ. Let me do my maths. 60 a day. Where's my calculator? 60 times 365. 21,000. Jeez. Whoa. That's a year. It's average 60 a day. About. Because we're dealing with over 22,000. This is 21,900. So you left off both. Yeah, it's about 60 per day. So for your abortion clinic were first set up in black communities in the US. It's far deeper than the eyes can see. See, that part of the conversation right there, I saw somebody just said why we talk about stuff like this because it's a problem in the US as well. Teenagers get pregnant all the time in the US as well. Remember, I know, two things I want you to remember. For one, what people are doing good, we can imitate them. It's okay. Just like how Barbados the other day said Rihanna is a national hero now, and they've given national hero status to somebody that is alive. The same people that must say, oh, and Jamaica so far behind. Look on Jamaica. Lead the way, Barbados. Big up on yourself. Then the Jamaican authorities went to the board and they started putting up a list of people who they think could be eligible for such recognition. And the same people them over there beat them. Also, now follow Barbados now. If Barbados not shake Jamaica down, yeah, I don't know how to follow people that go on like so the leader and not lead nothing. Like, come on, stop it. It's okay to be influenced by others, right? Especially if you're being influenced in the right direction. We can't, like, come on, they did it. Okay, so now time for we do it. Nothing wrong with that. Do it. Same thing over here with this. Same thing over here with this. A girl's culture, as the DJ did say, girl, forget, I mean, you know, no remember them tunes there. Yeah, man. I call out Beenie Man tune. Some man fi have enough girl and girl in a bungle. Girl from Rima, girl from jungle. In other words, have girl all over the place then. And then him sing the next one, say, oh, dog like me. Well, the girl them in a twos and three. And when me that grew up, me didn't want to have the girl them in a twos and three because I was listening to Beenie Man back then. Honestly. And everybody know while already I'm the wild. Believe you me, when you ever drink cut on the tree. You know, that kind of something that's the music is influential. We have to take serious thing, make jokes sometime. I don't want to be here trying to tell women what to do with their bodies because I'm not that kind of a man. And I understand that a lot of these laws that affect, I was talking and forgot my talking point, but I'll bring myself back to it. Somebody said, okay, so a lot of these laws that are made to towards women and their bodies, it's made by a group of men in suits, smoking fat cigars and sipping on scotch, and no woman is in the room, right? Me don't feel like we need to have the right to dictate what, but I mean, your morals should send you down the right path. With that said, somebody said, why we talk about this when in the US it's the same thing, you know, girls getting pregnant at young age, whatever. There's a difference, my friend. There's a difference. And I explained this to people before. If I go to, there's a high school that lives close by where I live. I won't say I live in a ritzy upper class place, but I do live in a place that is pretty well to do off here. And this is the United States of America. And I'm telling you that if I go by this one particular high school right now, you as adults out here, many of you don't have or can't afford the vehicles that are in that parking lot for the school. And they have a massive parking lot, and the parking lot is full with $60,000 Jeeps, convertible this, that, and we're right there next to the beach, right here. Skip and go over the thing, over the bridge, and you're on Millionaires Road. There's no house over there that's not under. We're talking millions and millions of dollars, not no $1 million house, right? So when they get pregnant here, if you're thinking about the poorest and the lowest, right? When watch the mathematics, opportunities are different here. I myself started working at 14 years old here, right? And I bought myself my own car, my own first car, which was an Audi. These kids here, they can see their way up out of that. Okay, I'm 16, I'm in high school, my boyfriend got me pregnant, or I'm gonna get pregnant by one big man. Boom, I'm gonna go get a job. I might have to go to night school, which they have the option to do while I work the day shift, or switch it up, do whatever. Or I'm gonna drop out of school for now and work two jobs. And they literally can work two jobs, like one right next to the other. They're young, they have the enthusiasm, they have the strength to do it. Them not all yet like when time midday sleep catch you and you fall asleep in the middle of the day and don't know what to you. Them still can go. And they're able to find their way out of this. And if you look, I've been in this area for a while. If you look a couple of years down the road, you will see them, they have houses now. They actually own their home, some of them, right? And they were able to do that and work them way up out of that and then go to school. And right here we have university and colleges within the same, so everything is close to them, easy and accessible for them, and they can find their way up out of it. It's not like Jamaica. It's not set up that way in Jamaica, and opportunities don't come by like that. See, when the girl get pregnant, our family say, you shame we, and wherever I have to go, come out and go on. She better hope she have some help. Because if baby daddy run gone, family abandon her, chances are slim that she's going to be able to achieve a higher education and therefore be able to create a better life in a better environment for her children. If she breed and a ghetto she live, then more than likely, years down the road, she will still be in the ghetto. I mean, not say nothing bad about ghetto, but to me, ghetto means get out, not raise your children here and live here for the rest of your life and glorify it, right? See that somebody said you can even get your GED online, which is a general education diploma, right? Which is looked at as a high school diploma. It shows that you completed school to this part. Now, when you go apply for a job, the first thing they're going to say is, do you have your GED or your high school diploma? You say yes, boom, you're gone through the door. Them not ask you how many points did you score on so and so. It's just, do you have it? And them say yes, show us a copy, please. Boom, here it is, certified copy, verified. Okay, you're in. They don't have those opportunities in Jamaica. Girl breed at young age, she's blighted. She's blighted. But Jamaica is young, and still trying to catch up. But like I said on other videos, the catching up should be faster because we shouldn't be going at ancient speed trying to catch up. Things move faster now. It's a different world we're living in. Which brings me to, there's a guy, a couple of y'all been asking me to do it. There's a guy that did a video. He's supposed to be a Canadian diplomat, or his wife is a Canadian diplomat. Basically, he did a video on YouTube saying that he will never return to Jamaica. I don't know if in a city video, or a white man from over so. Him said he would never return to Jamaica, not even if somebody was paying him all expense paid to the most fanciest part of that island. He will never return to that island. Just a heads up, I'm going to break his whole video down for you. And it's going to be a lengthy video, but I want you to watch that video all the way through because talk a whole heap of foolishness, but him did put some sense in there too. All right? He was a fraud. Whatever he was, he was. I heard what was said. So I'm going to break that down for you because I was asked to by quite a few people. All right? Women's Center to help with the education of mothers. Resources are there, but very limited. Yeah, and the resources are there for those who want to use them. And then when you have too much mouth on the bread, you know how that go already. It's like me having an extra $100 to spare, but then I look around and I see 6 children, plus my wife, 7, myself is 8. Now me have 8 people on the $100. The $100 they're not gonna go too far. Yeah. Hutchmaster, you're saying that is a fake diplomat, but I'll do my thing, man. Just stay tuned for that video. All right. I don't want to discuss that video on this video right now. I just wanted to take the opportunity while there's 800 people on here and change to let them know say I am going to do it because I saw a lot of them were asking me to do it. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Big up yourself, Flo.
Manners and respect, family.
Manners up, manners up. First time they call, man, Ken Prosper.
Big up yourself, family.
Well, here you know,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about the child pregnancy, teenage pregnancy thing. We grew up in Antigua.
Mm-hmm.
No boy, when you're in Antigua, you have a little girl, they go to school, you go primary school, you take a little exam, you go high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm old boy, she auntie boyfriend breech,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it for school for she. She was about 10, 11.
I should be from 10
No.
from them age.
Yes, I'm around there early young man before I go, grammar school and then something. It's about 10, 11, somewhere around there. No, on the flip side, in the high school, you have to take the CXC and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
You want to understand after CXC a certain time of year, see some big belly walk around, and gal pick me, because the gal tie up the belly.
Mm.
Them band up belly and whatnot, so then can actually go take them exam and so forth. Back then, when you grow up, they put you out to school.
Mm-hmm. So then they have to tie up the belly, tie down the belly so it don't grow, right? For hide it, right?
Man, what? You have a girl in the neighborhood, big girl, and why she breathe, nobody know.
So that picking the band look like they didn't wear a fitted cap or a bandana.
Yeah, have twins. But now, right when we live here in Pasadena, there's a talk. I don't know how true it is, but it's a school where they have an education center / youth center. And there's a middle school.
Mm-hmm.
The talk was them man say, yo, the little girl in the middle school, we will drop off and pick your man in at the youth center and just walk across the road and go to school. That was a regular thing them say around here. But around
so them have a youth center right across the street from them school.
Yeah, basically on the same
clinic.
campus. It's basically on the same campus with the middle school, on the same grounds. So then drop off the picnic to the youth center and then go middle school. By 2 o'clock, then done school and go to the picnic.
You know, I wouldn't be mad at that actually, you know. We have to be forward thinkers. Because at this point now, the baby born already. So what we are gonna do now? We have to stop make them feel like, okay, the shame should be everlasting and them can't rebound from it. So and they have that here in the US too. Where
in the US.
Yeah, them have daycare facilities where them can drop off them youth and go to school.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, in California, you don't see too much of the little girl walk out pregnant. You don't see too much of that. You don't see too much of that, maybe because they have the family planning and they can do that little thing legal, you know, them give them things in the school and so.
Yeah, no, them have the morning after pill them and all these things too, you know.
Yeah.
Boy,
teenage thing, you see too much wrong in them places.
That's an interesting concept though. Big up yourself, family. And big up my Antigua family.
Oh, yes, I 268 straight.
All right. One love.
Yes, I. Bless I.
Now, that's an interesting concept. If we want to talk about government. So there can be a place across the street from the school where mother just go drop off our baby and but hey, we have to pay some way, you know. We have to pay some way. So I, as a taxpayer, I'm gonna step out on a limb and say this. I, as a taxpayer, would happily pay my money towards that. Not that I would be encouraging girls going to school to breed while you're in school, but I don't want to discourage those who did breed and still want to go to school. You know, if we can find a way to actually make it, yo, you made a big mistake. This is not what you wanted. Now you're really going to have to struggle. But we need you to stay in school. We need you to fulfill your educational obligation. We need you to elevate your mind. We need you to get all the things in place you need. Because if we don't, and we just live off the shame, then this is the same female who we're going to see 15, 10 years down the road, probably still doing bad, right? And her bad story will begin with me breed at 15. My breed at 16, and that's it. I couldn't go no further because I couldn't go back to school and I couldn't this and I couldn't that. So why prolong that? We have to still be more proactive than reactive, you know? And we do a lot of reacting stuff. Oh my God, I'm so surprised. Geez, are you serious? Like when everything is like right here in front of us already. We need to start map it out and say, okay, this has been going on for a while. We see where the little gun bag youth them come from. Your mother did a 15 youth. Yeah, and you are one of them where granny were 40. All right, so here what? Let's not have any more of this. Let's make sure that even though them read, they're still able to go further in life, education-wise, because that's what's going to get them in the door of being able to provide a life for themselves and them youth. Mommy at 15, right, when she breed. You think she not still want to go club when she at 18 with a 3-year-old on her side? Can't tell her nothing now, you know, because she breed at 15. So at 3 years now, I've been a big woman. No matter who I take care of the picnic for her or help her, you know, she's been a big woman for 3 years now. So when party a keep and she at 18 and all her friends them, now that's all in the normal mindset of an 18-year-old, because that's what they're supposed to be doing. Their right side wants to do everything they're supposed to be doing. It's kind of hard to pin them down and say, yeah, sounds good, but you got a damn 3-year-old, you better take care of that child. Enough of them left them picnic everywhere and anywhere, just so them can go party, just so they can still have experience some of what their childhood should be, or experience some of what their peers are going through. So yeah, man, if we can help them along the way like that, then I'm all for it. Me not throw my tax money in the too and don't even cry about it. We're going to pay one way or another. Do we want to pay for young prisoners and heartless gunmen who are, he's a done of a neighborhood at 18, Him kill how much people by the time my 20, police kill him by the time my 22. Is that the route we want to go, or can we steer this thing in a different direction? We have to be realistic. You know, Massa? We have to be realistic. I don't ever, and I keep saying this, I don't ever want any of our discussions to end with doom and gloom and woe is me and the end of the road and no light at the end of the tunnel and hopelessness. There's always a way. There's always a way. We have to talk up and put the thing in place and educate some so they can see that, yo, there's a way. You know, sometimes you're stuck in your rut and you can't see no other way. You just see what you see. And you know, say, rough, I mean, now I'm going to make it true. Until somebody else come and say, yo, look over yourself. And I say, rotted, I like that. Yeah, man, come this way. But me think say it could only work that way here. No, it can't work this way, come this way. You know, so that's all is needed sometimes. Is for us to instill hope. Yeah? There's always hope. Letitia Nicole. Facts. Always hope. Always hope. Let's not be hopeless. We're never a hopeless people. Right? You know how hopeless people act already. When people are hopeless enough, all hope is lost. Them want to kill you and themselves enough. So we don't want to create hopeless people. Right? Hopeless people start doing all kinds of hopeless things. So more life was said. And that's what we promote. I think it's a good idea, and then they can help themselves. Yes, help them till they can help themselves. Not encouraging them, but help them along the road to building themselves. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, Sophie. I just wanted to add to what Ken was saying.
Now
because
you're
this
clear.
is a very important topic.
Mm-hmm.
And in Florida, we actually already pay for that. And I believe you also live out of Florida as well.
Right.
With the school system in Florida, if you're a teenager and you have a child and you ride a school bus,
Mm-hmm.
and the school bus actually will pick you and your child up, go to the daycare, drop off the child, or if there's a daycare at the school, of course you would take the child with you, and then continue on to take you to school and pick you up accordingly at the end of the day.
Wow.
And that's in your taxes. So whether or not you know you're paying for it, you are.
Right. And I would gladly pay for that because the alternative is so, it's not something we want to see. Not a road we want to go down, you know. Not constantly anyways.
And we actually see a lot of those moms excelling when it's not the give up. They have that motivation to keep going. 9 times out of 10, they enroll in the dual enrollment programs. I'm not sure how familiar you are with those.
Yes.
But they do really well in those programs because they graduate high school with some college credits or even an associate's degree.
Right. Yes. And that's something that we could imitate on the island, correct?
Oh, definitely. And it's a need.
It's
Those
a need.
trades, if those kids have those kids so young, get
Mhm.
them into a trade or something that they can get out and help themselves. And it's not so much of a burden to the family. It's happened, it's done. But some of the permanent, like if they're in a situation where the abortion's not a great idea because the child already has health issues, then take a different route, support them, and give them a way to feed themselves.
Amen. Absolutely. And thank you for that because I didn't know like that much about it. I knew there were incentives out there that could help teenage moms along the way and whatnot, but not to the degree that you just explained it. That's awesome.
Oh, totally. I went to school with kids who utilize these systems, and you would never know. There was no shame. You didn't even know they had a child unless they told you, because 9 times out of time they dropped off the child before getting to school. So
Nice. Thank you.
But I just wanted to add to that. Everyone have a good day.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You see that? You see that? So like I said, when we start being more proactive instead of reactive, then we will start to come up with solutions that actually work. And then if to have these implemented would be the ultimate, the utmost. I just saw that this is in the newspaper, Crystal Tomlinson, I believe. And this article is about don't let them get off or don't let them off. Go Google don't let them off and then Jamaica Observer and see if the things that we discuss here and talk about constantly if they don't actually make it to the front page of or the table for discussion among people that really matter. They're now talking about amending the laws on the island for domestic issues, domestic abuse, so that the victim no longer has a say as long as there is proof. Otherwise, the state itself can pick up the charges and don't need the victim to consent, don't need the victim to come say, because a lot of the times what happens is, I don't know if y'all remember, recently we covered a story about the girl who was disemboweled, like the man cut out her belly, jumped out the bush on her, cut out her belly, her stomach, and she's telling the story herself, like she's running down the street, holding up her intestines to not let it fall out all over the place. And a man like this, she was seen on camera a few weeks later after she went to the hospital, thought she was going to die. All this, she is healing up. They're pressing charges, and she goes down to the government office to say, I don't want nothing to do with this. I don't want to press no charges on him. Matter of fact, she even said, I'm carrying baby right now. And I thought, you're carrying his baby in the belly that he cut out literally a couple weeks ago? Is she really pregnant? Good morning, you're live on the air with SouFLo.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, fam. How you doing?
Bless up,
Highly.
Oh, right now, me catch discussion late still, you know.
Yeah, cause we are gonna sign off now, you know.
Yeah, me see it, you know, but it no really matter. Cause what I say now is, I feel like the problem is, it has to start from the root, you know. And it's these man, our so-called man, where untaught the young girl, let me see me. What is the problem? So that's the first problem we have to start out, you know, before we get into the problem of the young mothers and these things, you see me? So it's these things that we get started out first, cause that are going to lead the youth, them don't have no mother and father structure, then a be a crime, don't.
Yeah, them have to make it a real crime with a real law that give a real punishment to any grown man who mingle with a child like this, and this is the result. But there's no real deterrent there per se, you know.
Cause you see what me say now, we as a people now have to make it very deterrent, you know. Yeah, and start with the people and others set the thing, yeah. So whether it be in a music, whether it be in the society, at the time right now, you know, for we step up and know say it can't go on, you know. You see me?
See,
that is the biggest thing, you know. You see me? So any man I deal with them thing they forget, burn out, brother.
Facts.
You see?
And the community them embrace them, you know, brother. Me see community embrace them thing, you know. And know who is who and who do what to the little girl and embrace them, you know, like them a legal couple and thing, you know.
You see it. All some of the mothers too, you know. Cause you see what me see now, because of poverty and money now, brother. Some of the mother them now have them young daughter, you know, and sit down a road, you know, and I send on them daughter, you know, and all these things, you know. So all these things intertwine, you know. You see me?
Yeah. For those who don't know, that's that. Go take man and come help me take care of the rest of the picnic them.
Yeah. And all these things, you see me?
Yeah.
So the whole of them things they have to deal with, you know. We're not going to wait upon government to deal with them, you know. We as a people have to deal with the whole of that thing, you know. And there's the next thing with them say hope, you know. And a hope time right now, you know, active time right now. You see me?
See. True talk.
I hope I sit down and rate an active time now. It's me.
True talk.
Our ancestors did little hope. So we are going to take it up the right way. Hope, you know. Active time, you know.
All right. So if we're done with the hope and start move.
And start move.
Yeah.
You see me? And that then give you from long time, you know, hope, you know. To go and hang on, you know, and take heed that miss, you know. We're not upon hope right now, brother.
Yeah, but we don't want to end up hopeless neither, right?
No hopeless, you know, active. That means active.
All right.
Yeah, that means it's doing time, you know. We're not gonna say, yes, it can go on. We have to move on it. No, that may I deal with.
Real talk. Real talk. Manners and respect for that. Fire.
Manners and respect, brother.
Yes, my lord.
Bless.
Blessings.
Aye.
Yeah, I understand exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying hopeless as in we don't want to leave anybody feeling hopeless. You know, we don't want nobody go away from our discussion. And because, you know, listen, when you talk to a lot of people at the same time, right, you must understand that there are some people out there who don't have the full capability of the reasoning, overstanding the reasoning. And some people walk away feeling like they were put down in this reasoning somehow. And it could serve as confirmation for them to, like, yes, this is the end. I don't want nobody feel like that, right? But I understand what he just said though. Too much of this hope, hope, hope. Our ancestors had hoped that we would attack it the right way. See? So we can't pass that hope there on. It's a different kind of hope that still. We can't pass that hope there on to our next generation. And everybody just a hope, hope, hope all our way through history. We have to get up and start work. See? And start putting things in place, actively doing. Actively doing. Somebody people keep asking me why you just sit around and talk about stuff. Why you don't go run? That's how you would really help. Be boots on the ground in Jamaica. That's how you would really help. Uh, everything starts from a discussion, man. All right, everything, and trust me, you can light a fire that can blaze higher than a mountain through a discussion. Starts from a discussion. If we're not able to talk things out, then I learned that from the military. Like when we are going to do raids or we are going to do any operation, there's a whole lot of sandbox planning and talking. My vets in here know what I'm talking about. There's a whole lot of sandbox and a whole lot of talking goes on, a whole lot of discussion and planning goes on before execution. See? Live on the air with SouFL. Good morning.
Yeah, brother, good morning.
Morning, fam. Well, go on. All right.
Christmas. Good to see you in good health.
Yes, I am. Hope all is well with you, yes?
So far, so good.
All right.
What I say is, the three lady them that call, they really touch a good point. And yes, the land is out there for the facility and build the structure for the wedding.
The people that must say if you talk up, because them can't hear you.
One thing though.
There you go. All right.
We're missing from the camp. There is no bosom to care for the kids. I'm not the reason why I said that. The last set of people that leave Jamaica, that was it. We don't have no elderly folks like in them 40s and 45 that really cares to say, okay, put them in the facility to care for the kids. You understand me? If you notice, the 45 and the 60-year-old woman are them around the streets.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So for hire people to really care for the kids that they're going to drop off, it's really a needle in a needle stack.
Yeah. You know what? Them themselves can be caring for them. Because if them do school in shifts and all that, that could actually also be a job. You know,
what
like
I could say
train
is
some of them in
the
that
facility,
field.
set up the facility that they can come. You understand me? And do what they're doing online while they're overseeing their kids a certain way. You understand me? It's more comfortable because you're not going to find no one to sit to say, okay, I'm 95. Look on it. When you used to get up, we used to say Mass Joe or Miss Aunt sweeping the street. Are we seeing anybody sweeping the streets now? The streets, them dirty, brother.
Yeah, but I come from
55-year-old, 55-year-old Miss Jane, she not come out again. Because she don't want a man to stab her in her back for nothing at all.
So. But you know that model works here, you know. So there are people, yes. I think there are people that will do the work.
But they are protected.
Yeah.
Out there is not protected.
Get it. You have a point. I got it.
Big up yourself, my brother.
Manners and respect, family. Yes, I get it. Me get exactly what you say. Got what you saying. So somebody said like CZ Review TV says elders them in the streets are going bad for real. Yes, man. 60-year-old woman out there look for a young boy and you know she want to live her best life and everybody say leave her alone, let her do as she please. She deserves happiness and thing and you know she right there in the same party with her daughter, I look man, and two of them might like the same man and these things. But it, but it goes back even worse though. It goes back to the teenage moms, teenagers having teenagers, having teenagers, having teenagers. You do 3 of those, and you literally have a 3 women where are going to be looking at and finding the same group of man them attractive. See? So mommy have boyfriend, she don't have no husband, sis daughter have boyfriend, she don't have no husband, next one have boyfriend, granddaughter have boyfriend, she don't have no husband, and you know, it's nastiness. But I saw the thing go wild and crazy. Kind of remind me of one time our dogs used to be loose in the community. We used to have a German Shepherd named Natty. Natty used to knock down everything. He was the big dog in the community. Natty used to knock down everything. And this is a dog who used to leave the yard. He's not going to bother nobody much. Only when you're coming into our yard, he would not bother you. Enough people from down my way can tell about that dog there. See? Because he used to rah, 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 all along the property line. And you know, when you reach my yard, you have to run till you pass my yard and thing. But he's not coming out to chase you down the road. See? But that how we're living now kind of reminds me of that. It's not a good thing, really. But I truly my talk, it makes sense. On the flip side, though, again, it could work. It could work. One thing I don't like is one time we come up with an idea and then we shoot down our own idea. But he wasn't shooting it down, we're brainstorming. See? And I'm glad that he actually explained instead of just say, that not gonna work. Like I told the people to put up cameras and somebody said, yo, you, that not gonna work. I don't know which part I live or where I talk about. Gunman will shoot out them the camera there. I'm gonna say, okay, back to the drawing board. Put up the camera, make the gunman shoot it out, put up some other cameras so you see who the gunman is that's shooting it out. Then go get that gunman that's shooting it out. Put some cameras in some places that people can't really see. Because them can't see it, them can't shoot it out. All kind of things. So we keep going through and fine-tuning these ideas and then bringing them to the table. You know, big up to big up to each and every one of you for being a part of these discussions. These are topics that need to be talked about. Need to be talked about. Important conversations that we're having. I nobody know of them conversations. We are talk more about dancehall and Beenie Man, and Beenie Man present a fake COVID papers and him go Ghana and go on like bad man and them say, yo, COVID positive, quarantine. And them say, move from here, sir. You know which part I come from? Jamaica, and a bad man. Went off on his business anyways. And and them think that we're interested in, we're not interested in having serious conversation about serious issues that actually are affecting us. You know what I'm saying? So we have to mix in one-on-one, and I will try more to balance this thing so there's some level of pointless entertainment then included in the matter. Again, big up to Beenie Man. It wasn't nothing but a discussion this morning, King, and manners and respect to you the same way. See it? All right. For each and every one of you who tuned in, I appreciate you greatly. Manners and respect to each and every one of you, and we'll be right here. God spare my life tomorrow morning. Right, that's up on Morning Thoughts with my Morning Thoughts family. All right, have a wonderful day. Keep the comment section trending. Have this conversation all the way out. I'm having thoughts of forwarding this to somebody in particular. I'm going to want your voice to be heard. All right, one love. Catch you tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.